Policies and legislation and laws, acts, are really important to all professions these days, and it's commonly avoided by most people because of the impression that they're written in a legal sort of way and they're difficult to understand and they're not practical or applicable to what you're doing in the real world. These days, especially with your OHS, your duty of care, your behaviour management, it's definitely worth looking at your legislation and policies in depth every now and then, and I'll give you some examples of some and why. Your general agreement for your teacher aide, teacher assistants, education support workers, it's about 30 or 40 pages, and it's got really cool things in there like how much different teacher aides get paid, how much you can expect to get paid once you've got more than 12 month experience, 24 months experience, whether you're expected to go to all staff meetings if you're only part-time, what type of sick leave you can apply for, all those types of things. Really important to read that every now and then and keep a copy of it, and it's generally, they're not written in a way that's too difficult to understand. Your curriculum, well, not really, I suppose that's a policy in a way. Your curriculum is worth squizzing through, especially the new national curriculum, and especially if you're teaching something specific, or if you're working with a group of kids in literacy or in an English area doing, say, phonics. It's definitely worth having a squiz through the literacy or the English curriculum, or that portion of the curriculum, especially to the sections where they say, well, this is what kids in year 1 and 2 should probably know. This is what kids in year 1 and 2 probably know as far as reading, as far as writing, as far as, so on and so forth. State policies, there are national policies, but the state policies are probably the most important ones. Depending on which state you live in, go to the Department of Education website in your state and look at what policies they've got. Your behaviour management, your duty of care, your excursions, your first aid, those types of things. Oh, we've written them down here too. Behaviour management, first aid, duty of care, excursions. And also school policies, which you can quite often find on the school's website. For example, and sometimes they take the form of a student handbook or a parent handbook or a school handbook, or they're just thrown up there. Things like uniform, really important. Things like what to do if you're if students are late, it's important to note that, for example, if you're new to a school and you're setting homework or you're keeping kids in after school, maybe some schools have rules where you can't do that. Some schools have rules where you can do that if you get parents' permission, and so on and so forth. Students will know this. You need to know it as well. Really important. Generally with your policies, especially the state policies, they're easily accessible and they're written these days so that you can, and I've got lots of examples in them, and they're more practical than I suppose ever before, at least in the majority of states. I haven't read every single one. Okay, so feel free to have a browse through next time you're on school holidays or you're really bored and got nothing else to do, but you should definitely check them out every now and then, especially the ones that are applicable to you.